Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining today. I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can continue with the Srimad Bhagavatam. We're on the 56th chapter of the 10th canto, and very interesting chapter. So this is the verse, which two verses, 29 and 30th in this chapter.
Vijanata Vijanam Viksharajanam Achyutya Jahara Maharaja Bhagavan Devaki Sutta Abhim Vishyavindaksha Panina Samtare Natam Kripaya Paraya Bhaktam Mega Gambiraya Gira. Translation. Sukdev Goswami continued, O King, Lord Krishna then addressed the king of the bears, who had understood the truth. The lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, the son of Devaki, touched Jambavan with his hand, which bestows all blessings, and spoke to his devotee with sublime compassion, his grave voice deeply resounding like a cloud.
So this chapter includes wonderful Leela with between Krishna and amazing devotee Jambavan, who was present in the time of Lord Ramachandra millions of years before, and who is a bear. So very interesting. He helped Lord Ramachandra in his pastimes, and then he's having pastimes with Krishna. A very amazing soul. So let's see what this chapter is about. Shyamantak jewel. This chapter describes how Lord Krishna recovered the Shyamantak jewel to allay false accusations against him and married the daughters of Jambavan and Satrajit. By enacting the pastime involving the Shyamantak jewel, the Lord demonstrated the futility of material wealth. So, Satrajit wears a Shyamantak jewel. When Sukadev Goswami mentioned that King Satrajit offended Lord Krishna on account of the Shyamantak jewel, and Satrajit tried as best he could to atone by presenting him with his daughter and the Shyamantak jewel, King Parikshit became curious to hear the details of this incident. So this incident, this pastime, shows why Krishna was not particularly, in comparison to his pastimes in Gokul, his pastimes in Dwarka were fraught with issues. And whilst in Brajabhumi, he was glorified as Makanchor, and he was very happy and relished that name, that pastime. Here, it wasn't the same sweetness. When he was accused falsely of taking the Shyamantak jewel. So this pastime, Sukadeva Goswami narrates this story. King Satrajit received the Shyamantak gem by the grace of his best well-wisher, the sun god Surya. So Satrajit was a devotee of Suryadev. After fastening the gem to a chain, which he then hung around his neck, Satrajit traveled to Dwarka. The residents, thinking he was the sun god himself, went to Krishna and told him that Suryadev had come to take his audience. But Krishna replied that the man who had come was not Surya, but King Satrajit, who looked extremely effulgent because he was wearing the Shyamantak jewel. In Dwarka, Satrajit installed the precious stone on a special altar in his home. Every day, the gem produced a large quantity of gold. It was kilos of gold. I can't remember how many kilos. We'll come to that in a minute, or maybe tomorrow. And it had the additional power of assuring that wherever it was properly worshipped, there would be no calamity. So, very powerful jewel. God knows if this is anything like what a jewel is, but this is just something we picked up from the internet. Satrajit enters his opulent home. Oh yeah, it's there. 77 kilos of gold. Every day it would reproduce. So anyway, Satyajit entered his opulent home, festively executing auspicious rituals. He had qualified Brahmins install the Syamantak jewel in the home's temple room. Each day the gem would produce 77 kilos of gold, and the place in which it was kept and properly worshipped would be free of calamities. So that's why he would employ these Brahmins to worship properly, so that the benefits of the Syamantak jewel would be realized every day. So on one occasion, Lord Sri Krishna requested Satyajit to give the gem to the king of the Yadu, Sukrasen. That was normal etiquette. When you're a citizen and you're possessing something, you should offer it to the king. Right? That's normal etiquette. So Krishna was just asking Satyajit, observe the normal etiquette. But Satyajit refused, obsessed as he was with greed. Shortly thereafter, and this is the problem with greed, shortly thereafter, Satyajit's brother, Prasena, left the city to hunt on horseback, wearing the Syamantak jewel on his neck. On the road, a lion killed Prasena and took away the jewel to a mountain cave where the king of the bears, Jambavan, happened to be living. Jambavan killed the lion and gave the jewel to his son to play with. So this not quite accurate, but anyway. This looks like a tiger more than a lion, doesn't it? And this is Jambavan knocking dead the king, the lion, and seeing what is this jewel. Now Jambavan was no fool, but he had no value. He had given no value to the gem. But Jambavan was very intelligent. Anyway, then King Satyajit, because his brother did not return, he presumed that Krishna had killed him for the Syamantak gem. This is pretty heavy accusation against Krishna. Lord Krishna heard about this rumor circulating amongst the general populace. And to clear his name, he went with some of the citizens to find Prasena. Following his path, they eventually found his body and that of his horse lying on the road. Further on, they saw the body of the lion Jambavan had killed. Lord Krishna told the citizens to remain outside the cave. So they located the cave. They were going to enter the cave. Krishna entered the cave instead. And he investigated, wanted to check it out. So the Lord entered Jambavan's cave and saw the Syamantak jewel lying next to a child. When Krishna tried to take the jewel, the child's nurse cried out in alarm, bringing Jambavan quickly to the scene. So, unaware of Krishna's position, Jambavan considered him an ordinary man and began to fight with him. For 28 days continuously, the two fought until finally Jambavan grew weak from the Lord's blows. Now understanding that Krishna was a supreme personality of Godhead, Jambavan began to praise him. So Jambavan was extremely strong, as we can see, and he and Krishna fought. That must have been an amazing fight. Krishna's hand touching him also fighting with the Lord. So Jambavan's glorification. I know that you are the life, air, and sensory, mental, and bodily strength of all living beings. You are Lord Vishnu, the original person, the supreme, all-powerful controller. You are the ultimate creator of all creators of the universe. And of everything created, you are the underlying substance. You are the subduer of all subduers, O Supreme Lord, O Supreme Soul of all souls. You are he who impelled the ocean to give way when his sidelong glances, slightly manifesting his anger, disturb the crocodiles and fish within the watery depths. So there you go. He's recognizing this is no different from Lord Ramachandra. This is Krishna and Rama the same, one and the same. You are the one, you are he who built a great bridge to establish his fame, who burned down the city of Lanka and whose arrows severed the heads of Ravan, who then fell to the ground. So Jambavan was very much involved in this battle as well. He was one of the soldiers that was in Lord Krishna's camp. So he's remembering, and this was millions of years back. So yes, Rianj.
Rajan is very important because he only reminded Hanuman his powers. That's why Hanuman went to Lanka.
Well done. Very good. Yeah, Jambavan is a very special character. And he never boasted, you know. He never said, hey, I'm the one who told Hanuman his powers. And that's why he found Sita. He's very humble. And this is the duty actually of a teacher, to get the best out of the student without then glorifying himself. Jambavan is a fantastic example of a great, great teacher. Okay. The Lord touched Jambavan with his lotus hand, dispelling his fear, and then explained everything about the jewel which he wanted to recover in order to disprove the false accusations against him. With great devotion and happiness, Jambavan gladly presented the Shamantak jewel to the Lord, together with his unmarried daughter, Jambavati. So this is Jambavan handing his beautiful daughter to Krishna, with the jewel, of course. So then, in meantime,
Haribol,
yes.
while you're on Jambavan, is it okay to just show you a couple of photos when I went to
Oh yeah.
near Dwarka in
Good,
the
good.
in the caves? I think I forwarded you the photos, but I got it on my mobile. So if I just I'll show you.
Yeah, go for it if you can.
Yeah, can you see?
Oh,
Okay, 1 minute. That's where this is in the caves.
yeah, we got that picture.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is actually in
Oh, is it?
Ranavav.
Okay, yeah.
And this is a Jambavati, obviously black in color.
Oh, okay.
And there's a deities under the in the caves.
Wow. So where is that in Dwarka? Is in Dwarka, you said?
Near Dwarka, a place called Ranavav is a
Okay.
small village.
Okay.
And obviously the Saurashtra government has looked after this part of, and is in English and in Gujarati.
Oh,
Yeah, so I've been there and it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing that. That was good. That's very important, actually. It's good. Thank you. So, meanwhile, Krishna's companions, they'd waited 12 days to come out for him to come out of the cave, but they finally returned to Dwarka, despondent. All of Krishna's friends and family members became extremely sorrowful and began regularly worshipping goddess Durga to assure the Lord's safe return. Even as they performed this worship, Lord Krishna entered the city in the company of his, of his new wife. So it's amazing, Krishna, whenever he shows up with a new wife. He summoned Satyajit to the royal assembly, and after recounting to him the entire story of the Shamantak jewel's recovery, gave the jewel back to him. Satyajit accepted the jewel, but with great shame and remorse. He went back to his home. There he pondered over his grievous offense and worried about the possibility of conflict with the Lord's mighty devotees. So then he decided to offer Lord Krishna not only the jewel, but also his daughter. And his daughter's name is, anybody know?
Satyabhama.
Satyabhama. Yeah, good. That's right. Sri Krishna, oh, it's written there. Sri Krishna accepted the hand of Satyajit's daughter, Satyabhama, who was endowed with all divine qualities. So it's explained that she's a direct expansion of Radharani, and Rukmini is a direct expansion of Chandravali. But the jewel he refused. Krishna didn't want the jewel, returned it back to Satyajit, saying, "You are the sun god's devotee, so let it stay in your possession. Thus, we will also enjoy its benefits." So this is partly how Krishna tested Satyajit in the first place, to give it to Ugrasen. And at that time, Satyajit didn't play ball, but now he was giving it. Krishna said, no, no, you keep it. What's the problem?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, wasn't it Jamvanti?
Jambavati is
Jambavan.
Jambavan's daughter. That's correct. So that was
Not
a second one.
Satyabhama. It wasn't Satyabhama, was it?
Yeah, Satyabhama is Satyajit's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, the third queen.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So this is Satyabhama offering the jewel to Krishna. Oh, that's it. That's the end of this chapter. So there's more to come tomorrow on the jewel. Okay. Any questions, any comments before we go to the instructions by Madhusudan Prabhu?
Prabhuji,
Yes, anyway.
the Jambavan, he lived through the 2 yugas then.
Yeah.
Ram and how?
Even before.
My goodness.
He was there.
Hmm.
He came, when did he come? He was born from Lord Brahma, actually. His father is Brahma, I think.
From Satya.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's he's probably still around somewhere.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
During the time of Lord Chaitanya, any form of appearance as Jambavant?
Sorry?
Lord Chaitanya's era, time of Lord Gauranga Prabhu, was Jambavant any associates or not?
Haven't heard.
No.
No. I haven't heard. No.
I haven't heard.
No. But
Not sure if it's still around somewhere. As Jambavan, I don't think he is part of the Gaur Leela. I think he is if he's still around, it's still as Jambavan somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think he's around because there are few personalities who are still around, including Hanumanji. But you've not heard about Jambavan being included in that. There are, so.
True.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Kaushalya Maji, you got another question? Or Rianch?
Prabhuji, I just want to tell that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions that the worshippers of demigods are not intelligent and they don't recognize me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the story proves some of that. But after Krishna gave the stone back Satyajit, then he changed his mind that it was not Krishna. Treasure, that's what I want.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Rianch. It's a very good comment. Yeah, Dwarka is unusual because this was a really quite disturbing incident for Krishna. and it unsettled the mood in Dwarka. Okay, Madhusudan.
I don't think it's joined.
Oh, okay. You can read if you want.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Canto 10, chapter 58. In this chapter, we learn how greed took over Satyajit when he had the Sayamantaka jewel and the, excuse me, inauspicious outcome of his refusal of Lord Krishna's request of giving it to King Ugrasena manifested. Sorry, I'll have to drink some water. 1 minute. On one occasion, Lord Krishna requested Satyajit to give the jewel to the Yadu king, Ugrasen, but Satyajit was so greedy that he refused. He gave no thought to the seriousness of the offense he committed by denying the Lord's request. He even accused Krishna of killing his brother Prasena, who was actually killed by a lion. Amazing how even Krishna has to prove his innocence. Hare Krishna.
Indeed. This why it's a little awkward. Awkward pastimes in Dwarka, which just shows how even the Lord here has to go through such tribulations. Any other questions? Any comments? Okay, thank you so much, dear devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.